Hello everyone, welcome to Jacqs Scraps. Thank you for joining me today. I'd like to welcome everyone that is in our community as well as new members. So today I am going to be creating a exploding box for a wedding shower that I will be attending. And I thought I would come on and make it with you. This will be my first time creating an exploding box, so we can create it and figure it out together. To get started, I'm going to be using DCWV The Everlasting Love Stack. Apparently, I just noticed this is a limited edition, so that'll be cool. It does have foiling in it, and I've decided to start with this as the outside of the box. It is one-sided, so we'll be building layers on the inside, but I think typically they use double-sided paper. But today we are going to try it without. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is take our 12 by 12 cardstock paper, put it in our scoreboard, and score at 4 and at 8. I'm going to do this 2 times, I think, just to be safe. We're going to rotate 1 time and score again at 4 and 8. The next thing we're going to do is take our scored cardstock, and on one of the corners we're going to cut from the edge just to the first score line. Now you can use your cutting board if you like, but I'm just going to try this with scissors. I don't really cut very straight. We'll have to straighten that up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is on the opposite corner to the one that I just cut, I'm going to do the same thing. So on the first score line down to cut to this first score line across. Now, if you're wondering why we're doing that, if we take our paper and turn it over, we're going to be taking the part that we cut and we're going to fold that over and score for both sides. Because what we're going to do is create little pockets so we can put gift cards in, because I actually bought them some gift cards of some places that they were interested in getting one. So that's why we're doing that particular part. The next thing we're going to do is actually cut the square out of these 2 corners. So you'll be cutting from this edge to the first line, from this edge to the first line. And then repeat. Okay, so now we have both of our sides cut out, and what I think we'll do is put this back into our scoreboard, and so this corner here will be folded in to create a pocket on the inside. So what I want to do is actually cut it down a little bit so that the card will stick up. Okay, so we will score at 1.5 all the way to the first score line. Again, we will flip this over to the other corner, and at 1.5 we will score all the way down to the first score line. The next thing we will do is again cut this line all the way to the first score line and then cut it out. So we will cut out this part that we just scored as well as over here. So I will do that and I'll come back. So now that both of those are cut down, what we're going to do is put a little notch in here. And I'm using an EK Success punch. It's 1 1/4 inch, but I'm just really using it because it's handy. So you can certainly choose any kind of punch that you would like and punch out a little notch in that. And on the other side. Just trying to center it the best I can before punching. Now that we have the 2 notches cut out of our pocket, what I thought we would do before we glue this down is to take one of our scraps and glue it to the top of the little side here. And then when we glue this down, it will leave just a little bit of white, and I think that looks really cute. You know that you need to insert something there. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I will go ahead and adhere this with art glitter glue. I'm just using this type of glue instead of adhesive tape because the card stock is so thick, I don't think it will warp it. Okay, so that's all aligned. And so you see it leaves just a little bit of an opening there. So we'll go ahead and add the glue here. And here's a credit card. Let's give it a try. Fits right in there with plenty to view. Okay, let's do this to the other side now. So after we have that all glued down, this is what it looks like. For the 3 sides that currently don't have anything on it, I have went ahead and cut out some of the decorative paper to go in here. I'm using the black and white paper that matches the gold and white for the center. And I'm going to go ahead and use the gold and white on this side, as well as I'm going to use this one that has, this is like the border page with all the different strips. I've cut that out. I like it because it has different things on it. It has some words, says I love you always forever. I thought that would be cute back here. These were all cut down by 4 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those on. And the way I'm going to do it is this will be like the back of the box and this will be the front. So when we build our center, this will be the background, okay? So this is what it looks like once we get all the pieces attached. And for the inside, what I've decided to do was print out a die cut, if you will, from my Cricut of a man and a woman, a bride and a groom. And what I did was I cut that out 4 times, and I did it 3 times in black and white cardstock, and then the last time I did it in glitter stock. I don't know if you'll be able to tell that or not. And then what I did is I've added a little bit of tulle that I got, and I actually just bought this from the Dollar Tree. And I added it here as like the veil. And so my plan is to attach it to the bottom here. I think I'll use the glue gun for that. Wasn't sure if I was going to use glue gun or actually do one of those mechanisms to make it stand. But that is the plan for the inside, and then I'm going to be using some flowers and some other elements. I haven't figured it all out yet, but I did want to show you that I had that, and it will go in there. So I also cut out this trellis using my Cricut, and this great paper that I got from AliExpress. I'll have it mentioned down below. So we could put that behind the bride and groom. That should work. Yes, it's lower than the, you just got to make sure that anything you put in here is lower than the height of the box that you are creating. So I created this to be like 3.8 something, and look, it's slightly below. And then again, the bride and groom. Oh, look how cute that is. Okay. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to adhere everything. Well, I didn't realize that my camera was on, and in the meantime I had printed out a photo of the happy couple and adhered it with some score tape, and then I'm adding some flourish here on the corners. So there's that. On the corners I went ahead and put in the gift cards, and I had a die of little golden rings, so I thought I would adhere that to one of the pockets for some decoration. Very cute. I found this cute little heart die that had dots, and I cut that out in some mirror foil card. Thought that would be cute to add over here to mirror something being added there, and I think I'm going to call that done, except for maybe decorating the lid. Now we're going to make the box top, and we are going to use a 7x7 piece. So I've decided to use the black and white design that matches the gold and white, and see how that turns out. If I don't like it, I'll just redo it. But we are going to cut a 7x7 piece out of that paper, and we'll use that for our top. Okay, next we're going to take our 7x7 page and score it at 1.5 on all sides. So once you score it on 1.5, you rotate one time, score it 1.5, rotate again, score it 1.5, and rotate the last time and score at 1.5. You can probably see it easier on this side. Now that our piece is cut and scored, we are going to cut on our first score line. So at the bottom corner, go to the first score line, and we're going to cut, and we're going to do it at a bit of an angle to create like a little triangle that we're going to cut out. Doesn't have to be very big. Just a piece like this, a little sliver. So next we will turn our page, and then we're going to repeat the same thing once we've turned our page, creating that small sliver of a triangle. And we'll just continue to turn and repeat that same cut. Once each corner has a cut in it, we are going to score all the sides. The next thing we're going to do is the corners that have been cut, we're going to fold them in, place glue on the outside, and then adhere it to the next full piece. So there's a full piece, there's a short piece, full piece, short piece. And the short pieces, you will add glue to the outside and then glue it to the nearest long piece to create the square top for our box. It will look like this when we're done. Okay, I will do one to show you, and then I'll do the rest offline. Make sure when you are gluing that you kind of square off the sides so that you don't put it in too far. Okay, like that. So instead of using the black and white lid, I opted to go with the same color of the box, and I added pearls all the way around the box. And I also added some charms that say Mr. and Mrs. that hang, and then that way you know that's the front of the box. And I think what I'm going to do is actually just get a big bow and put on top. So here you go. When you take off the lid, it falls out. Here's the charms. And there's our project for today. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did creating it. I'll see you next time.